Hi everybody, welcome to Deb's Way, and I'm Deb. You are here for another hashtag Friday Sews. And yes, it is Saturday afternoon again. I have no excuse except, well, I was a little under the weather yesterday, so I just decided to postpone the video, and I am much better today. So, you're stuck with me on another Saturday. So, let's see, what's been happening? Oh, first of all, I wanted to thank Jen at Today in Jen's Sewing Room for hosting and starting this collab to begin with anyway, which has grown over the last few years, and it is quite a, what would you call it, quite a group of amazing women and men who love to sew. And it's a really friendly, very knowledgeable and willing to teach type of community. I am thoroughly enjoying being a part of this community. And I also need to thank Trish at Pinky's Farm, who encouraged me to participate in the group. I held back because I am, after many years, just coming back into wanting to sew clothing. I had done quilting for many years, and odd job sewing, placemats, whatever, that type of thing, small projects. Clothing baffled my mind. Okay, the patterns, some of them are so difficult to follow even yet, but still, I'm working on it. And lastly, I wanted to thank all of the sewing sisters that I've either met in person or had really nice chats with online for being in this community and being available to answer questions or just showing what they know how to do and get me more interested in sewing my clothing. I've really been inspired to continue on and see what I can do. Okay, so let's see what I can do in my sewing room. First of all, I did finish the 6 dresses that I had planned to make for the project Dress-A-Girl 2022. And I shipped them off earlier in the week to Madi. Okay, so I've got my dresses done and in, and I just kind of took it a little easy this last week because I really pressed myself to get those dresses done. I'm really glad that I did participate after all in the project. I was holding back at the very beginning because I still have doubts in my sewing abilities, as far as clothing goes. I just felt I didn't know how to do it that well. But then I saw that pattern that Thoughtful Creativity came up with, and I thought, I'm going to give it a try. And I did it, and I liked it, so I continued on and made the dresses. So that was fun, and I was glad to have been a part of it. Also, I had sewing class this last Tuesday, and we've been meeting the last 4 Tuesdays working on a shirt. And again, that was, what is it? S9130, this shirt. Okay, I think you can see it. And now in the shirt, or on the picture here, it doesn't look like this front V goes down real low, but it does on me. So I am tweaking that. I will be tweaking the pattern because I'm going to make another shirt for sure, if not a couple. I'll be tweaking that and shortening that V because on me, like I said, it goes down pretty low. But this is the shirt that I finished. Yeah, I know you can't see it too good here, but it fits wonderfully. And I'm going to insert a picture here that was taken by our teacher in the class after everybody was finished. I was really pleased with how mine did fit because I have taken the same class now a couple of times, but just could never get the shirt to quite fit. Well, this instructor, which was a new one for me, she helped me get the right fit. So what I'm going to be doing though is on this V-neck here is putting an insert behind and make it look like, well, not quite like a turtleneck insert, but just kind of cover up the V that goes too deep. Okay, I think you might know what I mean, but anyway, I still need to tweak this, but I wore it home from class. William liked it. He said I didn't even really need to tweak it in the front, but I do. So that is done for the most part. And next, I decided my next sewing project is going to be the nightgown. And it doesn't necessarily have to go floor length. I like them like mid-calf area. So that is going to be it. And also I like the shorter sleeves. So I'd probably be, here I am talking about switching the pattern around. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, I like the short sleeve version of it. It doesn't have to be long sleeve. And the length on the gown needs to be a little bit shorter for me anyway. But that's what I'm going to make. Okay. And I've got this flannel material that I'm going to make it out of. It's going to be one of my winter nighties. I will wear flannel nighties in the winter. In Florida here, that's even more than enough with, you know, a sheet or something and maybe a blanket. Now, if I were up north, I'd be wearing a flannel nightgown, have flannel sheets, have a down comforter, the whole works. But down here, you don't need that. I can even get by with just a sheet over me wearing a flannel nightie. So I'm using that flannel for that pattern. And I've had this pattern for a while, and I did buy it with William in mind to make him a pair of pajama bottoms, because he's the same way with me. In the winter, he likes to wear some flannel, and I could also make shorts out of this, but I'm going to make him a pair of flannel night bottoms, or pajama bottoms, out of this material. I've had it for a while. Can you see it? It's Steelers. Of all the baseball. Okay, yeah, I'm not a real fan of football or baseball or anything, but of all the football teams, the Steelers have always been his favorites. So I bought that material quite a while ago, and I'm finally going to make him a pair of pajama bottoms. Simplicity 8022, okay? And then another thing that I want to work on, I've made something similar in the past, several years ago actually, but I like the look of this, and it's to dress up your table at holiday times. I made it for Christmas to begin with, but you could make it for any season. Thanksgiving, you could do the same thing with fall looking material. It's this pattern. Well, here, let me take it out of the plastic because it's probably really shiny on the camera. It's a placemat. The bow up here is the napkin, okay? But you can decorate your table with those and also use them. I think it's a cute idea. It looks like a present if you do it for Christmas. But I intend to make something like that. So those are projects that I have that I plan to be working on over the next, well, it'll probably end up being a few weeks actually, because, you know, I'm not that fast. What else have I done in my sewing room? I sorted out what projects I wanted to work on next. I have practiced with my new serger and got it. Well, when I got it, it came already threaded with some small spools of thread, and I had bought the big cones of white thread. So I practiced with the colored thread spools to begin with, and then I switched over to my spools of thread, which means I had to rethread the machine. And that was a challenge, but I managed right out. The first try, I did it right. I don't have an air threader, but that's okay. It's a manual threader. I like it though. It worked wonderfully well, and yeah, I just need to get used to using it, you know, putting it to use. So one other important thing that I did in my sewing room over the last few days is I cleaned and straightened. Yeah. So you can see the floor, and it's clean. It's been swept. No scraps laying around. That's because I haven't cut out my next project. And everything is pretty well straightened up here. I have put the table, my cutting table, I kind of take down every time when I'm not using it, which gives me a lot more room back here in this little room. But I've got that stacked high with fabric that I need to wash before I store it away. I have stored away all the fabric that I had in that rolling bin. And so anyway, this room tidied up very nicely, and I'm very pleased with the way it looks now. Hopefully it'll stay this way for a while, but we'll see. It'll get messy again when I start the nightgown, but that's okay. I'll be cleaning up after that too. Other than that, around here this week especially, or this weekend, we're all preparing for a hurricane. Yes, we are. Even on the news, the weather channels, they're telling Florida residents, the whole state, to do as much preparation as you can over the weekend here, because it could be as early as Monday night or Tuesday morning early when Hurricane Ian hits. We basically just make sure that we have bottled water on hand, food on hand, candles, batteries, or a generator of some sort, some type of a power supply in case electricity goes out, things like that. And we've been pretty good at keeping that sort of thing supplied up. Today, though, we did go out and buy a few groceries that we normally do in the early part of the week. We decided to do it now on the weekend instead of waiting until Monday so that we weren't in more of a rush of things. But even today at the store this afternoon when we went through, bottled water was all gone, totally gone. There was none left. No big bottles or little bottle, nothing was left of water. And toilet paper also. There was just a little bit of toilet paper left. No, I didn't need to get any, but I'm just saying that I did take notice that the TP was low in stock. And there were a few other shelves that were empty on a Saturday, but people are preparing. So, yeah, because this one sounds like it's going to hit us. So it pays to be prepared, because you can use the stuff anyway if it doesn't hit as bad as they think it might. This week, I did make note of Jen's question. I don't always answer the questions that she asks, but this week I did make note of it. And she asked, what's your level of perfectionism? And I've thought about that. I first of all, I started asking myself other questions with that, like, does everything that I sew have to be perfect? Am I a perfectionist? It's like, what's my level of perfectionism? Well, I'm not the type of sewist, even when I was quilting, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I strive to make it as close to perfect as possible, really good, okay? I strive to do my best in whatever project I work on. Now, my lack of confidence in sewing clothing comes from way back in my junior high school days, and that was a long time ago, but it has stayed with me through my whole life, where I had a teacher in home ec when we were doing the sewing class portion of the class. I could not do anything right as far as sewing goes. So, even though I made a pair of pajamas that I wore, I made an apron in the kitchen that I wore at the time, and it wasn't a half apron either, it was, the full apron. It turned out nice, but were there little mistakes in it? Well, maybe so, or not done exactly the way that the teacher directed? Maybe so. But I felt I had no confidence in the sewing that I did because of the teacher's comments on how I sewed back at that time. And that has stayed with me, like I said, for years and years and years. So I am just now building up more and more confidence with what I have been sewing on lately, okay? Yes, I do strive to do my best. Yes, I do still have my doubts in what I make. And, I've even commented that, well, okay, these house dresses that I've made, I'll probably just be wearing them in the house and around the backyard. People won't see me out in them. And that's true, but that's the house dresses. They're very comfortable though, and I could wear them out in public. But anyway, I won't be doing that. That's also Why, I still take classes at Sewing Studio to learn, okay, to build up my skills. And I tell you, every class that I take, I learn something new. I really do. And also it's socialization for me. I enjoy the classes, and I'll continue taking the classes, you know, much to William's dismay, because he'd rather have me here at home. But anyway, and speaking of William, he wanted me to include something in this video that was, it was a little video that I took at a car dealership recently when we took our car in for a 15,000 mile checkup. And we were looking around the showroom, and he came across something that he just fell in love with. I did show this portion of the video on another, it's in another video that I put out because I do a hashtag Tea Tuesday. And I showed it there because that's the day we went to the dealership. But he asked me if I wouldn't put it in this video today too. So I'm going to appease him and show. He loves this car. He wants me to show it to all of you. So here is William's video. It's a pretty color. Bring back memories.
Look at that. Is that not one of the most beautiful cars I've ever made? They don't do things like that anymore. Style,
Yeah.
classy. I had two of them.
But yours were both black and white?
No, one was green, one was black.
And what year?
That's a 1957 Chevrolet.
I was just a wee thing, a baby. Look at this. I love the color. I don't know if you can see inside.
They don't make them like this anymore, honey.
I know.
They're beautiful. Look how classy they are.
Bel Air. Chevrolet Bel Air. Beautiful color. It's here at the dealership. We're here today to get the 15,000 mile checkup on our car. An oil change, you know, that kind of stuff.
Do you realize if they reproduced this, it would sell out immediately?
You think?
Oh, yes. I can't think of anybody not liking this class.
Well, I can think of one person who would grab it up. Okay, William does watch my videos, so he will see this again and be drooling over it again. He loves that car, very much so. Well, it was a pretty car. It really was. And you know what? Back in those days, they made the cars very sound. Yeah. So anyway, that is about it for right now. I'm not working on too much. I'll probably start, well, I will take care of my shirt. Get that done this weekend, so I'll be wearing that again. Yeah, I like that. And who knows, I might have to go ahead and cut up another one to do, you know, get that in the works along with everything else. But for right now, that's all there is for Friday Sews. Hope you're all having a good one out there. You take care, and I'll be talking to you again real soon. But for this time around, it's bye for now.